Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about Storybird, which is an application, and I'm going to give you the ins and out to this technological application that was assigned to me. My name is Kaylee Smith. So some of you are going to ask, your first question is going to be, what is Storybird? Well, Storybird is a social platform for storytelling that it is a website designed for grades K through 12 that allows students to take the role of an author. So how this site works for students, after signing up using a teacher login credentials or parental account, students then begin to publish their own stories or read ones that have already been created for them. The students then have the ability to pair their words with site-generated vocabulary and artwork to create their beautiful masterpieces. The only downfall is that students cannot submit authentic, original artwork for privacy reasons. Yet students have access to creating forms of picture books, long books, and poetry, while also having access to comics, flash fiction, and blogs. So we're going to talk about how we're going to get started. To get started, students choose which format they would like to work with. Like I said previously, it could be a long book, picture book, storybook, look at comics, or a flash fiction, and then they begin to browse the Storybird's art collection to find the illustrations that go best with their writing, or just pictures that seem to inspire them in their writing. So after choosing which artwork works best for them, the editor then begins to launch, which allows the students to choose which illustrations they would like to pair together in order to create this wonderful book that they are creating. Then it allows them to add the text, creating as many pages as they would like to complete their full story. Something that's neat in this application is that you can add and delete pages using the plus sign, which is located to your right, or to your left you have the minus sign, which can take out some of the pages if you choose to change your mind. And that is located near the bottom of the application, as well as you can click and drag in your artwork to format your pages for your story. And then this allows the author of these stories to navigate between pages using the slider, which is this little blue bar, at the bottom of the screen, and drag and drop one picture per page or chapter, or move your pages to make a different order, like move them around a little bit to find the best fit. Students then can publish and save their stories from the editor and can invite collaborators to work with them, such as their peers, their parents, and their teachers. So what's next after you finish these applications? A lot of you may ask this question. So like I said, students can save and publish their stories from the editor and can invite collaborators to work on the stories with them, as well as it allows you to categorize your books and pick an age range and how to make this viewable for people using a private or public setting. After you do this, you are also able to write a small synopsis of the topic being covered within your writing, and all stories from individual works and peers are stored in the Storybird's classroom. So here's just a brief page of what you would see after you were finished. You would have to be able to see what your main topic is, and you type that in, and then you write the description or the synopsis. In the description, your media, which is optional, you can add videos and such. As well as if you would scroll down on this page, you'd be able to see the privacy settings as well as the age restrictions and age limits. So next, I talked already about the students and how this application seems to work for them, but now we're going to talk about how this site seems to work for you teachers. So for starters, teachers have the advantage since the Classroom application is supported by Google Classroom, and as we know, a lot of early childhood ed classrooms begin to use Google Classroom. Therefore, it makes it easy to add students' accounts to integrate with existing classroom tools. With this being so easy to access and having these tools at your disposal, assigning and grading work becomes almost effortless. This application becomes a great fit for teachers who are looking to develop students' writing and digital citizenship skills through their storybook creations. So let's talk a little bit more about integration. With a bit of creativity, storytelling can be linked to a variety of school subjects including history, science, and even math, thus showing how beneficial Storybird can truly be to the integration of curriculum. When we dive into the application itself after the PowerPoint presentation, I will show you a little bit more about the integration of curriculum. But the big question for a lot of parents and teachers is going to be, what is the price? What price am I looking at with the membership? So Storyboard allows you to unlock your creative potential with the membership. There are 4 different types of plans that you can choose from as an educator alone beyond the free trial. There are an individual monthly plan that is $8.99 a month, an individual yearly plan that is $4.99 a month, while there's also a school plan that gives you up to 50% off for a yearly school membership, which makes you available to have 100 to 200 members on that one account. Then lastly, there is a customizable district plan where more than 200 students and teachers can have access to that account. All that information is located at the bottom right of these photos. But then there's one additional membership that is acceptable only for parents, which is a family plan that can save you up to 40%, which accommodates a yearly family membership that is available for 2 to 5 family members. But you're going to be asking me, well, do I have to get that membership? What does this free classroom account really mean, and what can I do with it? With the free classroom account, teachers can create assignments and review the comments of the submitted stories. They also are able to arrange for purchase of students' artworks in order to fundraise a little bit for their schools. What I mean by this is I'm saying that teachers are able to make students' work public and classwork public only if it is consented by all parents and school board members as well. But if they do this, then they get to bridge the gap between school and home, and parents can take their kids' accounts with them after the class is over as well. And how they fundraise with this is that it gives 30% of the book's proceeds directly back to the school, so the school does get a little bit out of creating all this artwork and their memberships they are providing. But the biggest question of this application that is going to be very important for school board members, teachers, parents, and students is this application safe? Personal identifiable information is collected within this site, such as your name, your email address, a password, your school, yet it is filtered for personal content, so this is not publicly visible for everyone to see. Students are required to have this secure login in order to access the account. So they're going to have their email, they're going to have the teacher credential login or the parent credential login, and their password, and that's all that you're going to be able to look at when you hop into the website. Nobody else, if they even click on the page, they'll see the student's username, but they won't see any other information, because Storyboard uses its best practices to ensure that all data is protected, as well as all data in transits are encrypted. So we're going to talk a little bit more about safety. Data cannot be sold or rented to a third party. Students too only can work directly with certain people, and their direct student work is limited. Unless students, parents, and teachers are choosing to make that work openly public, the public cannot interact necessarily with other students' work. Yet students, like I said, can interact with trusted users such as their peers and other students, and teachers and parents are making sure that these social interactions are moderated. Since this site is intended for students 13 years and under, for the students, educators, and parents, consent is always required. Before they do a posting, parental consent is required. If it's in the connected with Google Classroom and it's with the Classroom and Storyboard, teachers' consent is required before they publish all their work. And as well as before submissions, there has to be a parental notice given. So we're going to log out of this a little bit, out of my PowerPoint, and we're going to begin to look at Storyboard itself. So as we go to the home page, like I said, we're going to just go through this really briefly and just talk about Storyboard and the application itself, and as you see it on the website. Like you said, it could be connected with a history, and they talk about Memorial Day here. Like it says genre history, you can look at the different genres within the applications and the books that are presented itself, and you can build off that for the integration for your classroom. As you scroll down here, it just kind of goes through briefly what are some of the latest picture books, comic books, flash fiction books, poetry books that are created by students and young adults. And then we get to go into challenge, which is the next little tab over where it allows students to become better writers through writing prompts, lessons, video tutorials, and quizzes where they can earn badges and boost their confidence through the pages and beyond. This just kind of lets students redefine their skills and learn how to better communicate and better gauge their writing towards what they're trying to do. And then as they go to read, it allows students to then look at other people's published work. They can then look at the work, love the work, which is using the heart, or they can comment on the work. And this is all work that was made public. And then if students get some inspiration through that, they can then write their own work. Like I said, they can pick from these 5 categories up top when creating their work. And then how I talked about before, when it goes to make the illustrations, they can, for example, look at different applications and they can look at different animals and stuff and look at what really inspires them, and they can write about it. And then as we go to the educator side, we get to see why Storybird, what it is for an educator's perspective, and it gives you the membership opportunities as well as additional resources for educators themselves, like downloadable pictures so that they can use that, and videos. And then for parents, it just kind of walks you through a family plan of what you can do, how you can connect it with other individual family members to start your literacy journey together. So overall, this is Storybird, and this is the application that was assigned to me. And this is how I was able to see what Storybird was by diving into this application itself and doing some more research that came from commonsense.org, which showed me what Storybird is and how it can be used effectively for grades pre-K through 4. Thank you.